hide what's going on here, can we? You know.
It was interesting because I wrote down a few quotes, and it was Plato. No, it wasn't Plato. It was oh, what's his name now? Epichantus. He said, what you impress, you express, and what you express, you impress." So in terms of facial exercises, I always think about that, you know, about the nurturing and the cultivating of love and beauty within ourselves, you know. And what he's saying is, whatever we impress onto us, we'll express. And these are our muscles of expression. And so whatever then we express, we will automatically start to impress. And every one of us know that subconsciously, you know, when we look at a face or a body or a person or whatever, when we look at somebody, we know that, you know, that person is kind or patient or loving, and in that they're beautiful. You know, so, and I'm sorry, I probably jumped ahead of where I wanted to go, but
What I'm saying, that's really because what it is addressing that thing, you know, as we grow older, this sort of we can have as fresh and young a mind as we like, and we can have, you know, all kinds of other sort of ways of remaining youthful. But the one thing that we really often think we don't have any control over is our appearance. And when we had Regina Meredith from Gaia TV, she's a very beautiful woman, and she talked about growing older and aging, and she said that, you know, our skin may sag, but the level of beauty within us is what we express. And you've just clearly explained that so beautifully. And very often then that how we feel about ourselves is how we can approach the world, and, you know, and meet other people, and, you know, be our best with them.
and you know, Trina, it's like I've been teaching facial exercise and facial yoga now since I turned 50, 51. And what I would say is, not only have I learned a lot about other people, but I've also learned a lot about myself. And in that journey of learning about myself, what I would say the most essential ingredient of any facial exercise or face yoga or self-care program is the love of yourself and who you are. And Thich Nhat Hanh, and I wrote this down as well, he says to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. And I just thought, oh, that is just really lovely. And that really is the essence of getting older, and the freedom that lies in getting older as we let go of that need to be desired or loved. As we let that go, we find great freedom in our expression of who we are. And that's I suppose my journey, my real journey with facial exercises, because I've got plenty of lines and creases like everyone else, and bits dropping here. My little grandson sat on my knee, and he sat there tracing his little beautiful fingers along my lines here. But you know, the love as he looked at them, you know. So while the temptation is, oh God, don't do that, the 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 allowing that to happen and to feel that love that was coming as his nana had these lines of life along her face and as he traced her fingers. And I thought, he just felt absolutely, this is beautiful. This is the way my nana should be. You know, my nana should be this person, and that to allow that to happen, you know, is to allow, I don't know, the essence of beauty or love that's within you to rise up out of you, rather than the temptation of pushing it away, you know, and go, don't do that, because we feel, you know, awkward or self-conscious or whatever. And the same little guy only last week, looking at my wrinkly hands, he said, and he compared his hands to it. And I said, oh, they're very wrinkly. And he said, they're lovely, Nana. They're not that bad. Oh,
Um,
oh my God, you're beautiful. But this, I suppose, this is the journey of face exercise and face yoga. You know, bits of us fall off here and there, we'll change, nothing stays the same. But what it is an incredible opportunity to nurture, love and compassion, and love and compassion for yourself and for your own face, like, and for the changes that you're going through. When I got on this morning, and I was getting ready for it this morning, I put on this kimono thing that I used to wear forever, years ago, and it was tight on me. I was walking around the house, and and then I went, oh, for heaven's sake, put on the dress. Yeah, it's a bit wider. It's a 14. It's not a 12. And I went, you're comfortable in it. Put it on and stop trying to think of something that is gone, And maybe I'm wandering all around the world here with this,
You
but I
actually,
suppose that's what I've learned. And when women come to classes or when they come one-to-one, lots of them can't even look at their faces, man. They can't look at their faces. And I'm not going to, I was like that in the beginning. I wouldn't allow photographs to be taken. I wouldn't look at that face. And now I'm in a coffee shop or a restaurant and I'm looking for the oldest face there that has the lines, the creases, the drops, and to see the beauty that's there and the freedom. And, beauty is something we nourish in us, and facial exercise or face yoga, when it took the tiredness out of my face, what it did was allowed a vitality to come in, and that vitality was beautiful. And that's what you reach for. If you reach for, the face of when you were 20 or 30 or whatever, it's not going to happen. No matter what you do, that is not going to happen. But if you can allow the natural vitality and health to shine through that face, that neck, doesn't matter what it looks like on the surface. The essence, listen, we all know beauty is in the way that we frown, the way that someone smiles at you, the way that someone holds your hand or gives you a hug. That's what beauty is. Beauty is in our living, in our being, in the way we organize our environment, in the way we organize ourselves. It's not in this veneer that sits on top. And yet we want this thing to look well. And I would say that face yoga exercise gives it that vitality, but you still get older. And that's always a difficulty. When people, I'm talking to people and they go, I'd say them, look, and do face yoga, face exercise, and they immediately look at your face and they want to see it flawless. And you go, that's not what it's about. That's not going to happen. If that was the way it was going to happen, all the wealthiest people in the world they'd look 20 forever. And as we all know, none of them do. Not one.
and that way leads to disappointment and disaster, really. But what you're talking about is really what is attainable, and that is that your eyes are so bright and wide open and expressive. They're sparkling. Your smile is genuine and warm and expressive, and so I'm saying that because we are talking about our appearance. But if that's possible for us, then this is a wonderful route. I mean, the fact that what you teach is something someone can go ahead and do for themselves and just feel that little bit better within their skin, then and it doesn't cost a penny, apart from obviously the learning process and that kind of thing. I think it's a magnificent thing. And yes, okay, there's a place for the beauty salon and the cosmetic
Absolutely. Absolutely.
for that too. But if you want to do something for yourself, this is really the way forward, isn't it, Elaine?
And the thing is that if we do facial exercises or face yoga without working underneath in ourselves, it's empty.
So right.
It's empty. It's empty. And we'll have nothing but disappointment. That's the one thing that I've learned. I've had to nurture love in myself. So we often think that love is just there, and it is just there, but I have to nurture it. I have to feed it. And I have to do that in the way I carry myself, in the way that I walk, in the way that I interact. And I'm not doing that for others. You're doing that. I'm nurturing this love within myself. So to allow that love that's within to express itself, through your words. Like I was terrible at bad language. I mean, every second word out of me, until I actually learned, really do, I want to learn and choose beautiful words. Like, I want that. I didn't, I was always effing and blinding and this Irish thing or whatever. And it is lovely as well. But I want to move beyond that. And I still do. And that's a challenge to me every day. Even though English is my first language, I wouldn't be great at English. So what I would say is I have to look for ways of finding how I can express myself through the use of beautiful language. And when I choose beautiful language, that allows the beauty that's inside to rise.
I love that. That is a lovely way of looking at things, and that in itself is one of those golden nuggets of wisdom. Because I mean, I was only listening to someone speaking this morning who said that if you're in a loving relationship with a partner, and that person never says "I love you," you're likely to say, "Could you just say it once in a while?" And and they say, "But I love you." But the point is, you have to hear it. But we equally have to hear it from ourselves. You
Mm.
know, so it's all very fine saying, "Oh yeah, I do, I love myself," and absolutely that's lip service, but not actually expressing it towards ourselves in any way. And some essence, some part of us becomes quite lonely, really, not really feeling that or it being expressed. So you talk about the likes of mirror work, and you've just said there about the kinds of language that we use, and finding beautiful words to express ourselves. So, would you have a recommended sort of maybe morning or last thing at night uh, ritual, perhaps for?
Well, in terms of affirmation, what I would try to do every morning and every evening, and this comes from Francesca Brown, and in the classes, we always end our classes with this affirmation. And the women like that will be there regularly. So sometimes they're out walking and they can hear my voice in their head and they're saying the affirmation. And I'll just say it for you now, if that's okay, will I? Okay. So I love every cell in this face and body. Every cell in this face and body is filled with pure love, and this love keeps this face and this body strong, healthy, ageless, and beautiful. The power of love now flows through this face and body, bringing about profound change in our DNA, taking each of us into an area of our lives where we continue to grow in health, strength, and beauty. We love every cell in our face and our bodies. And yeah, and we kind of try to get people to do that in front of the mirror. And we certainly always do it in class as well at the end. So, yeah.
Elaine, if we were to even set that as
Mm.
a 30-day challenge, beginning say November 1st, and say it every single morning, you know that there will be a change in the appearance, at least in how you feel, and in some way, on a cellular level within our body as a result of that.
Well, here's the thing, Trina. When I'm going up to Dublin, so it's about 2.5 hours from here to Dublin to get where I'm going. And if I'm in the car, I'll do affirmation after affirmation in relation to how I look and feel. And 9 times out of 10, I get up to Dublin, everyone goes, "You look really well." And I go, "Oh my God, it's the 2.5 hours of driving, of saying affirmations, repeating, and trying to put my head, my mind into that space of love and beauty." But honest to God, I'd be laughing because 9 times out of 10, somebody would say, "Oh God, you look really well." But no
Ah,
affirmations.
Elaine, how can people get hold of you? So, can we have is it through your website, do you,
I'm really poor at all of this, as you know. So I have a website, and it's www.myfacefityoga.com.
myfacefityoga.com? Yoga. And isn't that interesting that it is facial yoga that we think it's all about the body and the muscles in the body, but we've lots of muscles in our face, haven't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. And with that, I'm going to show you this one because we've recently started practicing this one. And the I know all the ladies love it, and they've all said that the strain in their neck is gone. So do you know the way we all hold an awful lot of tension here? And this is that sternocleidomastoid. So the way to find it, Trina, is to turn your head to the side and then tilt slightly, and it kind of pops out.
Yes, got it.
So now you grip it with the full of your fingers. It's not just on the top. So when you turn to the side and tilt down, it pops out. And then now make sure you have a little bit of oil or something on. And then you massage up and down it. So you can see it there. So it kind of runs diagonally. See it? So, and you hold the whole thing up and down, just gently massaging. And then from the middle, draw away from it. And again, draw away from it again. And then and what this does after a couple of days, people who feel and experience this pain and tightness, it goes away. And that frees up a lot of the other muscles in the neck and everything starts to relax. So while we hold a lot of tension in the sternocleidomastoid, and this one here, I don't know if you've ever experienced that before. Have you? You don't?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, if you do that a couple of times, but it frees up the other muscles. If this muscle is tense and tight, the muscles around it will be tense and tight. So it's
Yes.
really as simple as sitting there in front of the television, pulling out, put a little bit of face oil on it so you're not dragging the skin, massaging up and down it just for a minute or so, drawing it away, and then doing the same on the other side. Now, and I know in Pilates, the women do this all the time. And when we started doing it in Pilates, they were laughing because they were going, oh my God, the relief. Because a lot of them were complaining about their pain in their neck when they were doing Pilates. So we started doing this in every class and it's all gone now. And it's
Isn't it?
because this muscle holds an awful lot of tension. And
Yes.
when we release that, we also relax the other muscles around. The other thing to do, now I have some face oil on my neck here, is to make that little fist and just gently rubbing up and down. And like these are things that you could do in front of the TV, or even just to do, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Now I know you asked me for a little routine. I'm really bad at routines actually. Um, I
Perfect.
I don't stick to them. I don't stick to them like mad. I'd be just as likely as anyone else to hop into bed with the eyeshadow still on, because, but when I'm going anywhere, I will be a little bit better and
Yeah.
I will wash the face at night and I'll use a really mild scrub. My latest scrub is a little bit of sugar and honey. I don't know if
Yeah.
but I use that.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
kind of fine, wash it off, loads of splashes of cold water onto the face, and then I go
Yes.
to bed. And as we just say, we go to bed naked, so we don't run any creams going to bed.
Yes. Yes. I remember you saying this before.
And yeah, that if so, if I've something coming up, a wedding or a do or a dinner or whatever, I will be good the week before. Okay, I'm not good all the time. That's important to say. So I'm not there all the time. Every night. I'm not good all the time, but when I'm going somewhere, I will do it for a
Yeah.
week in advance. And
Yeah.
I'll do the same. I won't use the honey and sugar in the morning time. I'll just gently wash the face. And
Yes.
then I will just put loads of splashes of cold water and then put on a moisturizer. And the thing what I find with moisturizers, I flit around them. I never use the same one. It's usually whatever is on um, whatever I can afford in the shops.
Yes.
That's usually that one that I go. Sometimes I'll be extravagant. I was in Super Value recently and I bought one. It was €25. And the girl at the checkout said to me, €25. And I went, we'll see if it works. So
Better.
I what I would say is, and I suppose what is, try to avoid getting caught up in the same thing every day because nothing of itself is going to work forever. Your face changes, it moves, your skin changes. I would encourage people, if they can, to either take a really good green plant-based diet and to take collagen and to take collagen, whichever. I would definitely see the difference in my own face when I follow that. So I think collagen supplement is really important, but a lot of them are either marine or bovine. People don't like them. So, but if you have a really good plant-based diet, and particularly if you can, make a kale pesto or something, it could be just as good for your face you know, if you do that consistently. Now, I would be a bit fanatical about the kale pesto because it's my greatest love. I grow it. It grows so easily in Ireland. Like if you plant, and it's so good for your skin. It won't cost anything. You plant some kale in your back garden, and you'll have it right through till April of next year. You'll just pull off wherever leaves you want, and that's your nourishment for your skin. You know,
Bring into you in the most natural way possible. I love the idea of making it a pesto. That would be fabulous.
I would make kale pesto twice a week, and my husband laughs because I'm almost at the point where I put it on porridge. I just love it that much. But what I'm saying is, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive treatments.
Yes.
You could grow something if you want to feed your skin and feed your body, something like kale, which is really nutritious. Keep it organic. You can grow it anywhere, no matter where in your garden, in a pot or whatever. But the thing is, you pick off your leaves and they grow back. They grow back. It just, you grow, pull it. So you get right through the whole winter with it, and then you start it again. So I grow kale for my skin, you know, and I just think, yeah, it's a really good, cheap beauty.
That's another excellent tip from you. Thank you so much for all of this. Absolutely lovely. The beautiful affirmation is courtesy of Francesca Brown, because what I'll do is I'll print it out, but I'll make sure it's attributed to her, and also to say thank you to you. Thank you so much for all of this wonderful advice. It's so natural. It's so authentically Elaine Dowling. I mean, it truly is. What how you speak and how you live is, it's almost contagious. You know, you want a little bit of it because it's such a, you know, a vibrant way. And as you said, you know, you can't. What you're doing is releasing that vibrancy, that vitality, the radiance. All of those things are all things that we can hope for. Along with, I suppose, as we go through this month, you know, concentrating on sleep, concentrating on hydrating, concentrating, as you say, on sort of nourishing our skin through our food and through what we're drinking. And some of us are putting the cork on the bottle so that it's a no vino November for them. So
Maybe I'll try that one.
the eyes at the end of this month. Be ready for the prosecco at the end of the month for December. But Elaine, thanks a million. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Trina. Thank you for your work. You do great work for us.
Oh, listen, it's fun, and
I know, but still, you do great work. You give of
well,
yourself all the time. So, yeah.
thank you so much for that.